Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday Night Raw results and also birthdays. Happy birthday goes to Virgil, Headbanger Thrasher, Jacques Rougeau, Jerry Lynn. Another dark match that was at the NXT tapings from Full Sail University saw Ember Moon defeat Mandy Rose. Ember is the former Adrian Reese or Athena. As noted, tonight's opening dark match saw Tucker Knight defeat Patrick Clark of Tough Enough fame. Former Christopher Gerard or Biff Busick is now using the ring name Oni or One Lorcan in NXT. He will debut with that name on the June 22nd episode against Ty Dillinger after making an appearance back in February. WWE has registered to trademark the term Legion of Doom. It looks like the WWE Hall of Famer Paul Ellering, former manager to the Road Warrior Hawk and Animal, may be bringing back the name for Authors of Pain, Sonny Densa, and Zim Selmani in WWE NXT. TNA will be announcing their next Hall of Fame inductee on Tuesday nights. Later on this evening, semi-live Impact Wrestling episode from Orlando. The Hall currently consists of the Dudley Boys, Sting, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, and Earl Hebner. Dark match before Sunday's TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view in Orlando saw Mandrews defeat indie wrestler Paradise, who also does production work for TNA. And there wasn't anything. There was a late report on that. First teaser for Disney's Moana animated movie, and the link can be seen here, this link, which features The Rock singing. The movie is scheduled to hit theaters in November. Byron Saxon recently interviewed the WWE NXT superstar Alexa Bliss for the WWE website. And she commented on her on-screen relationship with Blake and Murphy, her former tag team. Let me put it in terms so that even you can understand. Talking about Byron Saxon. I'll describe it in one word. Over. Blake, Murphy, and I used to be friends. They helped me discover who I am. They taught me that bliss was good, but bad is better. Because of the boys, I was able to really express who I am. Instead of being the pixie princess I was pretending to be, Blake and Murphy were winners. I was a winner, and winners usually gravitate toward each other. They helped me, so I helped them in any way I could. I knew they were able to retain their NXT Tag Team Championships on their own, but when the matches weren't going the way they wanted, I made sure to step in. We were an unstoppable group. We pulled together. We all trusted each other, and we knew each other's strengths and weaknesses. That's what made our relationship good in the beginning. Then she also commented on why the NXT Women's Division should be concerned about her. I was built from the ground up by NXT. I am what they designed the future to look like. I am what everyone strives to be. I was made to be women's champion. I am the future. I am here to take what is rightfully mine. Should they be concerned? No, no, no. They should be terrified. And here's the latest episode of WWE Game Night with the Chubby Bunny Challenge. Eric Escobar said he had some interesting encounters with Shamus back in their developmental days. He was the wrestler that was dating or wanting to date with Vicky Guerrero. The former FCW champion and SmackDown star was on the Pancakes and Power Slam show and was asked about the rumors of Shamus being difficult to deal with in the ring. He always wanted to be the dominant big guy. If I stand next to you, you're basically the same size. So there's no big guy, little guy situation going on here. When he got in the mindset that he was a big guy and I was a little guy, he got a little bit more hesitant about a few things in the match, Escobar said of Shamus in FCW. Escobar then revealed that several other wrestlers had approached him and said Shamus was being too stiff with them, and would approach Escobar for guidance on the situation due to his tenure in FCW. He said some newer wrestlers were afraid to stiff Shamus back because they didn't want to ruffle any feathers. Escobar recalled a match where he felt Shamus was too stiff with him, So he says he simply hit him back, and that the Irish superstar seemed to get the point. I always give the guys a 3-strike rule. So he pops me one. I go, okay, 1. He pops me twice. 2. He pops me 3 times. Okay, my turn, said Escobar. So after I popped him back, I left my handprint stamped on his back for like a week. I think after that, we had no more problems. He wasn't stiff or anything anymore. And you can get more from the interview with that link there for you. Spoilers for NXT tapings for the next 3 weeks. Reported from June the 9th. Courtesy of Wrestling Inc. posting the results. June 15th episode. Greg Hamilton is back doing ring announcing. The show opens with a recap of TakeOver at the end and a backstage promo from the NXT champion Samoa Joe. Joe says tonight is the beginning of his dominance, and there's no question who the true champion is now. The Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering destroyed 2 jobbers in a brutal squash match. Their finisher is a clothesline reverse skull crushing finale. Carmelo defeated Tessa Blanchard by submission. TM61 announced as TM61 defeated Blake and Murphy without Alexa Bliss. Shane Thorne ducked a clothesline from Blake, who hit Murphy instead. TM61 got the win with their double team finisher on Blake. Murphy berated Blake at ringside after the match. Andrade Cien almost defeated Ty Dillinger in a TakeOver rematch. A good match, better and longer than their match at TakeOver. Unfortunately for Andrade, Ty is insanely over at Full Sail, and the crowd was very split with audible loud boos for some of Andrade's spots. Andrade did get a big pop at the end when he won. Finn Balor came out for a promo with street clothes and talked about the first time he saw NXT. And that NXT became part of who he is. He asked what's next for Finn Balor. Fans started a huge Balor Club chant, and he responds with, "Too sweet!" Shinsuke Nakamura interrupted. He says Balor wants some, and he wants some. He watched Balor become the icon of NXT, and Balor is still an icon. Nakamura wants a match and says, to be champion, he has to beat Balor. Balor says he knows what's next. It's Shinsuke versus Finn. And that ended the show. June 22nd episode recorded. One Lorcan, Christopher Gerard, Biff Busick defeated Ty Dillinger in a stiff, aggressive, and solid good match. Dillinger got distracted by the crowd, chanting 10 during his corner punches, which led to Lorcan hitting a neckbreaker for the win. No Way Jose defeated Josh Woods in a quick match. Austin Aries interrupted Jose's post-match celebration. Aries says, in this industry, you're not defined by your wins, but your defeats. He says he was defeated while he was not 100%, and that even though he had bruised ribs, a real guy doesn't make excuses. Aries says he and Jose talked after the match, and says he wondered what he could learn from Jose. Aries said he learned it's all about having fun here at NXT. Their dance over to the announce table, where Aries kills Jose with a rolling elbow and then beats him down. A huge Aries chant broke out, and he runs back, kills Jose with a last chancery on the ramp until the crowd boos him. Bayley defeated Deonna Purrazzo, and Nia Jax quickly squashed Liv Morgan with a brutal powerbomb. Ty Dillinger came out and complained that he is better than having 2 lost matches tonight. He says the show stops until he gets his. Well, that would be a botch, because if you think, doing one taping, you got to think, it's 2 weeks. Well, he says the show stops until he gets his. He calls Andrade Cien Almas out, and the match instantly starts. Ty walked out after Andrade does a tranquilo rest in the rope spot, and then comes back in only to get tossed back out and leave. Not sure if this will air or if it was a reshoot of some spots earlier from the earlier match. And then Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Murphy in a fun little match just below the two I saw them have in Atlanta and Nashville the weekend. June 29th episode, Alexa Bliss defeated Carmelo with a sparkle splash in a good match. Andre Almas defeated Noah Kakoa. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa defeated Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley in a good match. The Hype Brothers. Ciampa and Gargano cut a promo after the match, saying they should be next in line for a NXT Tag Team title shot. American Alpha interrupted, saying no offense, but they're next in line to get their rematch, and that whenever Gargano and Ciampa get their shot, it'll be against them. Chad Gable and Jason Gordon promise to get their revenge on the Authors of Pain, but first, they've got unfinished business with the Revival, who come out and say that they dictate the terms of who gets a shot. NXT General Manager William Regal comes out and announces Alpha versus Revival for a 2 out of 3 falls match next week. Authors of Pain attack Alpha after Regal's announcement. Gargano and Ciampa try to make the save, but they get destroyed. Authors lay out Alpha with their finisher, and then Ellering comes out on stage to call them to him. And then NXT Champion Samoa Joe defeated One Lorcan, a.k.a. Biff Music, in a solid main event. Joe kicked out of One's neck breaker that Ty lost to. Joe won the match with a muscle buster to end the tapings. So that's your 3 weeks of spoilers. Kevin Owens tweeted the following on Tyson Ducks being confirmed for the WWE Cruiserweight Classic. At Fight Owens Fight, just saw that at Tyson Ducks is in at WWE Cruiserweight Classic, and now my heart soars with the Eagles. Nest. WWE posted these videos here of 3 competitors such as Drew Gulak, Rich Swann, and Cedric Alexander in action. Triple H has announced more WWE NXT live events for Texas in late July. As you can go to NXTtickets.com for more info on that. As this coming Friday, tickets go on sale. There's no dates for what events that has been announced for the NXT event. WWE announced 32 finalists that will appear in the Cruiserweight Classic. It starts taping in Full Sail University on June 23rd at the end of the month. Kota Ibushi, Tajiri, Grand Metalik, Zack Sabre Jr., Noam Dar, Da Mac, Zumbi, Clement Pesho, hope I can Pediat, Harv Sarah, Gerv Sarah, probably the twins I posted back a couple weeks back, Fabian Reichner, the Brian Kendrick, Rich Swann, Cedric Alexander, Akira Tozawa, Jack Gallagher, Tony Nese, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Ho Ho Lun, TJ Perkins, the former Manic, Drew Gulak, Anthony Bennett, Tyson Ducks, Vince Dorado, Sean Malura, Raul Mendoza, Kenneth Johnson, Alejandro Saez, Damian Slater, Daveri. Hasn't he been in there before? And the final one is Jason Lee. And WWE taped the Monday night Superstars, Sasha Banks versus Summer Rae, Baron Corbin versus Jack Swagger. It was indicated on Twitter, on tonight's Raw pre-show on the network, that David Otunga is no longer co-hosting with Scott Stanford, Booker T, and Corey Graves. Otunga did do commentary with Dolph Ziggler for Superstars taping in New Orleans. Credit for the spoilers for Superstars. Anthony Lewis sent it in. Dark match, it wasn't one. Superstars. Sasha Banks defeated Summer Rae. Baron Corbin defeated Jack Swagger. Live from Raw. Open up with a standard intro. Live from New Orleans. The entire roster is on the stage. A moment of silence is announced from Lillian Garcia. And even Vince McMahon is on the stage. And it's a moment of silence for the victims of the terror attack at Pole's nightclub in Orlando. Michael Cole hypes the Ambrose Asylum with Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns for later in the evening. If you don't know, former Shield members He's joined by Byron Saxton and JBL. Also tonight, a Money in the Bank contract signing with AJ Styles and John Cena. We go to the ring. Out comes Tag Team Champions New Day to a pop. Big E, Xavier, and Kofi cut promos on the Fatal 4-Way title defense at the Money in the Bank this coming Sunday. This turns into Woods and Big E cracking on Kofi's shoes. The Under Armour Steph Curry's, Stephen Curry's, whichever. They're interrupted by Enzo and Mario and Big Cass to a pop. They also crack on Kofi's shoes. This leads to the Evolved Villains and the club interrupting. They all trade promos, and it ends with Cass calling their opponents S-A-W-F-T soft before they go to commercial. And even the New Day got involved with the chicks there. Enzo, Big Cass, and the New Day versus Evolved Villains, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Well, it would have been a 5 versus 4 if all 3 members of the New Day were in it. Back from the break, match is underway, back and forth between the teams until Big Cass gets a hot tag and unloads. Kofi tags in and he leaps over the turnbuckle, taking out the Evolved Villains on the floor. He comes back in to celebrate as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Simon Gotch ends up in control of Big E. Big E turns it around and drops him with an elbow. Big E goes after Aiden English, but gets distracted and clotheslined by Gallows on the apron. Anderson works over Big E in the corner, and then Aiden comes back in to keep him down. Gotch comes back in and keeps up the attack on Big E. Gotch with a big knee and a tag to Gallows. Gallows unloaded on Big E and hit a splash on the corner. Gallows dropped elbows for a 2 count. Gallows knocked Cass off the apron, misses a splash on Big E. Anderson tagged in, and as does Kofi. Kofi unloaded, hits a boom drop. Anderson ducks Trouble in Paradise, but runs into a kick. Kofi with a crossbody for a close 2 count as Gotch breaks a pin. Enzo comes in, but Gotch launches him to the floor. Cass sends Gotch to the floor with a big boot. English comes off the top on Cass. Big E hits the belly to belly on English on the floor. Gallows floors Big E on the floor with a big boot. Anderson tags himself in as Kofi rolls Anderson up, and he didn't see the tag. Gallows with a big boot. They hit Magic Killer on Kofi for the win. Winners of the match, the club and Evolved Villains. After the match, we get replays as the club stands tall as the New Day looks on from the floor. Still to come segment. Ambrose Asylum back to commercial. Back from the break, we get another victory from Darren Young and Bob Backlund. Another replay from last week with a few more words added to it. Who tells Young his next lesson is about saving money? Well, you'll walk to events instead of driving. That was last week's SmackDown. We go backstage to Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon. They start arguing until Kane makes his return and interrupts. Kane understands why they're having a hell of a fight because of the decision they're facing. Finding someone to run SmackDown, Kane is here to offer his services. He even has a resume. He hands it to Stephanie, and then Shane takes it. And if that doesn't set your house on fire, he has a letter of recommendation from his brother, The Undertaker. Stephanie leaves Shane to deal with Kane. He says he has some ideas that will make SmackDown red hot. Shane at least listens as we go back to the announcers. And they're still talking before they go to another segment. Zack Ryder backstage talking to a few fans about how Apollo Crews got the best of Shamus backstage last week. Shamus appears and says he will be the one laughing after their match tonight and at the Money in the Bank. Crews will see he's the one bro kick away from being the biggest joke in WWE history. Still to come segment again, The Shield and Ambrose Asylum. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we get another video for the Shining Stars. They knock local beaches and invite everyone to Puerto Rico. Titus O'Neil makes his way out for a match, but U.S. champion Rusev attacks him from behind on the stage. Rusev destroys Titus and launches him into the side of the ramp before bringing him back onto it. Rusev nails a running kick and then puts Titus in the act later as referees come out to pull him off. Rusev finally breaks it and taunts Titus with the title while mushing him, pie-facing him. Rusev stands tall with the title as the fans boo, with Lana still on the stage. Another still to come segment. Ambrose Asylum back to commercial. Back to break, we see what just happened to Titus. We go to the ring. Out comes Dean Ambrose for another edition of the Ambrose Asylum. Ambrose brings out his first guest, Seth Rollins, and then WWE World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns after. The former Shield partners meet in the middle of the ring. Rollins and Reigns stare each other down. Ambrose says, "This is fun." He asks Rollins how his knee is doing. Rollins asks Ambrose if he watched the WWE 24 special. Rollins says his knee is 100% ready to go. Ambrose asks how Rollins' face is doing because it's hurting him. That's what you owe the show. Even my Sunday school teacher says that. Reigns laughs at the joke. Ha ha ha. Ambrose and Reigns have some fun, friendly banter. Ambrose tries to get Rollins to lighten up some. Rollins finally admits his best times are in the ring. When they came with Ambrose and Reigns, when the Shield was together, he talks about some of their six-man matches and how they sent Batista packing to Hollywood. And then a crowd chant "Blue Tista" chant starts up. Rollins goes on, says the best time he had in the ring with him was when he put a steel chair in their backs. Rollins also brags on cashing it in at WrestleMania. Ambrose tries to keep Reigns calm and asks about Money in the Bank. Reigns says he will walk in with the title and leave with the title. Rollins goes on and says Reigns hasn't done one thing, beat him, because he can't. Rollins says that they are a lot alike, but there's one difference. Reigns wouldn't be where he was if it wasn't for Rollins. Rollins says everything he accomplished, he did on his own, unlike Reigns. Rollins says he's taking back the title he never lost on Sunday. Ambrose teases that he may win the Money in the Bank briefcase, then catch in on Rollins or Reigns to leave with the title. Ambrose shots the mic and his music hits to end the segment. Rollins then shoves Ambrose into Reigns, sending him to the floor. Ambrose unloads on Rollins. Reigns comes back in and pulls him off. Rollins misses a pedigree and takes a Superman punch. Ambrose drops Reigns with the dirty deeds. Ambrose stands tall and looks up at the briefcase, and his music hits. We see John Cena backstage talking to Shane McMahon. Still to come segment, Paige versus Charlotte, back to commercial. Back for the break, and Stephanie McMahon approaches Ambrose backstage. She says he managed to turn his show around and make it all about him. She announced he will be in the main event against Chris Jericho tonight. Ambrose says Stephanie has so much hatred and poison running through her veins, he wonders if it's contagious. She says hatred can be a good thing if you know how to use it, and walks off. Paige versus Charlotte was up next. We go to the ring. Becky Lynch is on commentary with Natalya. And they're all stretched out with their feet on the table. Women's champion Charlotte is in the ring with Paige for this non-title match. They lock up, and Charlotte quickly sends Paige to the mat. Paige turns it around, hits a running knee for a 2 count, as Dana Brooke looks on from ringside. Charlotte and Paige yell about whose house it is and trade shots. Paige knocks Charlotte to the mat for another 2 count. Charlotte with a roll up. Charlotte ends up going for the figure 4, but Paige decks her. Charlotte comes out of the corner and drops Paige with a big boot. She goes for the figure 8 again, but Paige kicks her out to the floor in front of Becky and Natalya. They taunt her. Dana helps Charlotte back in the ring, but Paige catches her in the rampage for the non-title win. After that, Charlotte yells at Dana to retrieve her title. Paige stands tall in the ring as Becky and Natalya look on. Renee Young is backstage with Cesaro, who is quickly interrupted by Sami Zayn. Cesaro says Sami still has a lot to prove, and he should start tonight with their match. Cesaro walks off, and we go to commercial. Back from the break, Charlotte's backstage frustrated with Dana. She says Dana failed at being the protege to the champion. Charlotte says there is no failure at the top where she lives. Charlotte says there's no room for Dana in her history books if the same thing happens on Sunday. But earlier they talked about Becky and Natalya said something about there, or they showed a video of it or some sort, reminding Dana about Charlotte also being the father of the dirtiest player in the game, and that could have been what led to that. Okay, Shamus versus Zack Ryder was up next. We go to ring. The bell rings. Sheamus immediately attacked and unloaded on Ryder. Ryder comes back off the apron for a breather. Ended up dumping Sheamus to the floor. All offense on Ryder. By Ryder. Ryder comes off the apron and nails Sheamus before bringing him back in. He goes and nails two Broski boots. And then goes to the top and hits an elbow drop for a 2 count. This was a sloppy elbow drop. In my opinion, Sheamus ends up getting the win with a bro kick right after the elbow drop. After the match, Sheamus attacked Ryder, but Apollo Crews ran down for the save. Crews floored Sheamus and sends him to the floor. Crews followed, but Sheamus ran away through the crowd. Still to come segment, Cesaro versus Sami Zayn back to commercial. Back from the break, Kevin Owens interrupted Kane and Shane talking backstage. Owens is looking for Stephanie to tell her something, but Shane helps instead. Owens says Del Rio just showed up for work 20 minutes ago. Owens says he should be removed from Money in the Bank. Del Rio storms in and accuses Owens of having him detained by airport security. They argue and Kane yells at them to stop. He suggests Owens and Del Rio versus the Lucha Dragons for tonight. If the Lucha Dragons win, they replace Owens and Del Rio on Sunday. Shane agrees and makes the match. And by the way, I seen Del Rio in the opening segment on the moment of silence. So that little stitch didn't work for me. Bad mistake on whoever wrote that part. We got Sami Zayn versus Cesaro up next. We go to the ring. Out comes Sami first. Cesaro's out next. Back and forth start. Cesaro ends up knocking Sami out of the ring as we go to commercial. Lots of good back and forth action. Sami gets away with a big counter. They both basically got their... Cesaro started doing a swing. Sami escaped from the swing. And got a cool move. Kind of like the Styles Clash almost. With a counter. And a flip. Kind of like a splash kind of move. It was a cool spot. After the match, Sami celebrated to go to replays. We come back. Sami looks up at the briefcase as Cesaro recovers. Still to come, Cena and Styles contract signing by the commercial. Back for the break, Michael Cole is in the ring for the Money in the Bank contract signing, only momentarily. He brought out John Cena into a mixed reaction first. Cena comments on the rowdy crowd and then the dream match with AJ Styles this Sunday. He name drops PWG, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Ring of Honor. Only Cena can get by with that. Remember, former superstar said total nonstop action. Well, that's what TNA stands for. And he got fired for it. Well, Cena ain't getting fired. Cena talked about how WWE decision makers told AJ he didn't belong for years, but along came Shane McMahon and the new era. Now AJ is here. AJ makes his way out to a pop. Fan chant for AJ as he takes the mic. AJ says he has turned Cena's world upside down, and the whole world is still talking about it. AJ says he is going to do it again on Sunday because Cena can't beat him. AJ asks where he signs. Cena says, I got 2 contracts here. One guarantees a Cena versus AJ's singles match on Sunday. The other is for Cena versus the Club on Sunday. Cena calls them the Bitch Club and tries to sell AJ on going for the singles match. AJ eventually signs the contract for the singles match, and the crowd pops. Cena signs it as well. AJ says Cena is going to find out real quick. He's not just another independent guy with your Kmart shopping ass. AJ says maybe Cena will get the message that his time is up and AJ's time is down. As AJ finishes off the segment, and AJ's music hits, and Cena just looks on. We see Sami and Shane talking backstage. Still to come, Lucha Dragons versus Del Rio and Owens. Back to commercial. And there was a stipulation put in this. If the Lucha Dragons wins, they are replacing Owens and Del Rio in the match. Lucha Dragons versus Alberto Del Rio is up next. Alberto Del Rio and Kevin Owens. We're going to the ring. Alberto Del Rio was out first, followed by Kevin Owens. And Cara and Calissa were out next. If they win, they replace Owens and Del Rio in the Sunday ladder match. Owens and Del Rio argue before the bell. Del Rio starts off with Callisto and immediately goes to work. Tension continues as they both warn each other about losing the match. Callisto takes advantage and rolls Del Rio up for a 2 count. Owens comes back and shoves Del Rio, but they get double drop kick to the floor. Sin Cara and Callisto run the ropes for dives simultaneously as we go to commercial. Back for the break, Del Rio cuts Callisto off and works him over. More tension between Owens and Del Rio. Callisto takes advantage again, but Del Rio rolls to the floor to avoid a pin. Owens yells at Del Rio to get back in the ring. Before the 10 count, Owens rolls Del Rio in, and in comes Sin Cara. Sin Cara comes off the top with a swan top for a 2 count as Owens breaks up the pin. Owens drags Del Rio to their corner and tags in. Sin Cara counters Owens and hits across the body. Cara with a springboard back elbow for more strikes. Cara with a moonsault and a kick to Del Rio on the apron. Callisto dives out, but Del Rio launches him into the barrier. Del Rio gets knocked off the apron accidentally by Owens, and Sin Cara rolls Owens up for a 2 count. Owens ends up hitting pop-up powerbomb on Sin Cara for the win. So they retain their spot in the ladder match. After the match, Del Rio comes in and super kicks Owens in the mouth. Del Rio stands tall and points up at the briefcase while his music hits. Coleslaw leads us to a video of the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, from the set of the Marine 5 Battleground. Miz orders an assistant to get more coffee and tell him he's awesome. Well, the coffee was cold, as Miz said. Get him another. We'll go. We'll have her. So the comes segment, Ambrose versus Jericho about a commercial in your main event. Back for the break, Owens is backstage talking to Stephanie. They're not happy with Shane putting Sammy on the commentary for the main event. Stephanie puts Owens on the commentary as well. Del Rio walks up and accuses Owens of kissing up to the boss lady. Del Rio wants to be on commentary too, but Stephanie makes him the guest timekeeper instead. Owens and Del Rio argue. We get a look back at the Ambrose Asylum from earlier. Backstage segment with more tension between Shane and Stephanie. Kane walks up and they inform that he's not fit to run SmackDown. Kane walks up and Shane says Stephanie also is not fit to run the Blue Brand. Shane says they will continue to co-run Raw, but he's running SmackDown and he walks off. Not very happy, Stephanie. Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose main event. We go to the ring. Cesaro is guest. No, this is not. Yeah, this is your main event. Alright, we go to the ring. Cesaro is a guest ring announcer. Alberto Del Rio is our guest timekeeper, and Kevin Owens is on commentary with Sami Zayn. Chris Jericho makes his way out as we go to commercial. Back and forth start. Jericho ends up on the floor, is in front of the announce table, and Ambrose nails a big dive. Ambrose knocks the headset off Owens, and they have words. Jericho takes advantage and nails Ambrose from behind, sending him into the barrier. Jericho brings it back in the ring and goes to the top with a big right hand. Ambrose blocks the walls of Jericho. Jericho nails an enziguri. Jericho drop kicks Ambrose to the floor in front of Owens. Owens threatens Ambrose. Sammy takes off his headset and readies for a fight with Owens. Del Rio comes over with a chair and faces off with Sammy and Owens as we go to commercial. More back and forth after the break. Jericho eventually gets the walls locked in, but Ambrose makes it to the bottom rope. Jericho blocks Dirty Deeds and avoids a drop kick. Jericho nails the lion top for a 2 count. Ambrose goes on to turn it around and hit the big elbow drop for a 2 count. As Del Rio looks on, Ambrose blocks a double underhook. Ambrose launches Jericho to the apron. Jericho comes off the top but gets kicked. Jericho blocks Dirty Deeds. Ambrose goes for the bounce back clothesline but has to block a code breaker instead. Ambrose with Dirty Deeds for the win. After the bell, Owens hits the ring and nails Ambrose from behind. Sammy makes a save and beats Owens down. Del Rio with a backstabber on Sammy. They're all getting their finishers in. Cesaro comes in, hits a corkscrew uppercut on Del Rio. Then Cesaro kicks Del Rio to the floor and they brawl. Cesaro sends him into the barrier. Owens brings one of the ladders over from the entrance. Everyone continues to brawl. Sammy goes up to the top of the ladder with the case. Sammy goes up top rope and nails everyone on the floor but Jericho, who brings the ladder back in the ring and stands it up and climbs up and gets the briefcase as his music hits. Jericho sits on the top of the ladder, holding the briefcase as Raw goes off the air. And that concludes. I didn't see any main event dark matches results. So if I find it, it'll be on your SmackDown video. Thanks again. Peace out. See what I want to be here. And if you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.